A perfect lineup video with no Laffy? We might actually have a chance to get this right. You're watching the perfect lineup where me and only me, Josh Engleman, is going to break down the two best pitchers for today and my favorite stack, give it to you all, then run it through the single lineup simulator to see just how well it grades out. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. We have no Laffy for today. He's backed up with other stuff, which is probably pretty good. His pitching picks have been pretty awful as of late, so I am here to be the savior and give you the two best picks that we can find along with the stack. We're closing out Friday in the best possible way, and we're gonna get that started right now. But before we do, remember, comment in the video below. We want to know who your favorite stack is. If you think they're going to be the highest scoring stack, write that in the comments section. If you're correct, you and anybody else that joined you will jump on the wheel to try to win a week of MLB DFS Sims. And if for some reason you happen to be the only person that took it, there is no wheel necessary. You win anyway. Without further ado, let's get to the pitchers. Now, when I first started looking at everything, I started with the pitcher I'm about to talk about, but I thought he was going to be our SP2. And then when I dug in even further, he ended up getting promoted to SP1. That's going to be Charlie Morton. He's 8,200. Tigers are taking on Minnesota. We're going to be in Minnesota. Now, Morton grades out really well in the top pitchers tool. 15% chance of being the top scoring pitcher or a top two scoring pitcher. That's second overall. 11% as a top two value. That's sixth. His ownership right now, just 15%. That is the third highest mark, but really no one on the pitching side is pulling away. It's not like I love Charlie Morton, but based on his price, that $8,200 mark, that is going to help us out a ton and really allow us to spend up in other places. 24% K rate this season to lefties, a 173 X ISO. Not great, but not awful. You know, when that X ISO starts to get up around 200, that's where it starts to be a problem. Right here, that is manageable. Now, much lower strikeout rate against righties, just 21%, but the power also comes down. So I'm feeling comfortable. Now, the Twins are average-ish, depending on how you want to look at it. 111 WRC plus at home. That's good enough for 13th. 189 ISO, good enough for 7th. The power is there. They have a lot more power in their WRC plus than they do anything else, which is kind of boom bust for what we're looking for. Now, against righties, they are 19th in WRC plus, so below average, but 6th in ISO. So the key here, if the ball stays in the park for Charlie Morton, I feel like he's going to have an awesome day. It doesn't strike me as a spot where he's going to get BABIP to death and it's single, walk, single, error, double. I don't feel it's coming like that. If he keeps the ball in the yard, 8,200 for Charlie Morton is going to work whether he's your SP1 or your SP2. One of the perks of being in charge of both the pitchers and the stacks is that I can give myself a little bit of extra money for the hitters now. I'm not just dependent on Laffy trying to screw me by taking two 10K pitchers. So today we're saving quite a bit of salary and we're going to Jack Perkins for the A's, taking on the Angels, and Perkins is sitting at a crisp 5,900. Now, he's ranked on Fangraphs as the number 10 prospect in their system. He has a 38% K rate in AAA this year across 44 innings, 24% so far in the major, split between some starts and some relief appearances, but the strikeout stuff is there. The command is not as good, but at 5,900, I just want the stuff. Now, he is 12th in the top pitchers tool, which might sound a little low, but at 5,900 and given the size of this slate, 12th is still pretty good considering he's number 2 in value. And he's technically right now the highest owned pitcher on today's slate. Don't overreact to the rank though. He's only 19% owned. That means 80% of the lineups today don't have Perkins. So while he may be the chalk most owned pitcher, it is of no consequence to me that he's pulling that kind of ownership. Now, there are some things that make me a little nervous. This almost feels like the Minnesota side from SP1. Angels against righties, 18th in WRC plus, 11th in ISO. So a little bit more power, not as much of anything else. However, the big takeaway here, highest K rate in the majors against righties. That is what we're looking for. We want to stack up the strikeouts at 5,900. Now on the road for the Angels, 104 WRC plus, it's 13th. ISO, 4th overall. But they still have the 7th highest K rate. So again, very boom bust, but we've got the benefit of salary on our side here. If he can grab a couple strikeouts, get into that 5, 6, 7 range, limit the power as much as possible, you're gonna have to have a $5,900 Perkins. The Cleveland Guardians edged out the Arizona Diamondbacks yesterday by 2 fantasy points. And that meant that only 2 people picked the Guardians correctly and have the opportunity to win 1 week of MLB DFS Sims. It's a coin flip for the free week, and we're spinning the wheel to find out who it's going to be, and it is a Tiger's Grin. If this is you, email support@stokastic.com with a screenshot of this video and claim your free week. Since we're saving so much money at pitcher with an $80-something $100 SP1, a sub 6K SP2, we have the opportunity to spend up. And we still have this Arizona and Colorado game going today where people are going to be a little bit more expensive, but they're projected for massive fantasy points. We're not going to Coors. We're going to stick with Jack Perkins, and we're going to take his entire team. We're going to go to the A's. Now, the A's are 8th in top stack, 13th in top value, 8th in stack score, 10th in ownership. These guys are off the beaten path for today, and I'm not totally surprised because Yusei Kikuchi is on the hill against them. Now, he's good. He absolutely neutralizes left-handed hitters. 103x ISO to lefties this season, a 271x WOBA allowed. If you're a left-handed hitter, when you go up against Kikuchi, chances are you're probably not going to succeed. Righties, on the other hand, 199x ISO, just a 23% K rate here. We want to try to get as many righties as we possibly can, which is helpful because Sutter Health Park has a 108 park factor for home runs for righty hitters. And lucky for us, we've got a lot of options here on the A's side. Langalier's in at catcher, if that's where you want to go. Or you can go to McIver at catcher. You might have some options today. Expensive, not expensive. Obviously, we've got Rooker. We've got Thomas, Hernandez, Arias, Urshela, Schumann. And we still have a left on left that is not going to feel great today. $6,100 for Kurtz. It's a terrible spot for it. Don't expect him to be very owned at all. Maybe you get lucky. Takes a bullpen arm deep. That's what we're hoping for. Now, the A's have been basically average any way you want to chop up their data. 12th in WRC plus against lefties, 10th in ISO. They're 15th in WRC plus at home, 12th in ISO. By all accounts, they seem like they're just sort of slipping under the cracks, through the radar, whatever the phrase is supposed to be that I just whiffed on 2 separate times. But as I look at it right now, they're kind of the opposite of what I want from my pitching today. I think there's a ton of power potential in this A's lineup, and if they're going to throw out that many righties, we have a chance to get to Kikuchi. So now it's time to build the lineup, and it's nice because all of the ingredients came from me today. So we're really going to feel a little bit better here. Charlie Morton in at SP1, Perkins in at SP2, and I went a little different for the bats. I did not take Langoliers. I wanted to save more salary. McIver in at catcher at 2,800. I am going to keep the lefty for Nick Kurtz, sub 4% owned. We got a chance for a homer here. Then I took Hernandez in at short, Rooker in the outfield, and Soderstrom in the outfield. That leaves us about $4,700 per position to fill out second, third, and an outfielder. We should be able to find some really interesting bats, and we'll find the optimal plays by clicking complete this lineup. And this went exactly how I would want it to go. We get 2 pieces from Arizona, the clear best overall team on paper. We get Ketel Marte in at second, and we can handle taking on all of his ownership because just about everybody else is single digits except for his teammate, Alek Thomas, the other outfielder. So we get a 2-man Arizona stack, and then we get a one-off Colt Keith, Always great to get a third baseman that hits leadoff, that just slots right in. We spend all of our salary, but we click run lineup simulation because we got to find out if it's any good. And it looks pretty good to me. 31% sim ROI, 0.2% chance to win, 2% chance, that is, of a top 10% lineup and a 29% cash rate. And we clearly have plenty of ways to move this around. Maybe you want to make sure that you have Langoliers in at catcher. I get it. We have more than enough salary to go around. I'm telling you guys right now, I think we built the perfect lineup. And if we did, Laffy's fired.